Hi guys and welcome or welcome back. It's Tinker Taylor here today, and today I am doing a hospital build. This is part one because I spent forever and a day doing this build. I'd also just like to apologize for being late, as I was supposed to upload yesterday, but I was really sick yesterday, so I wasn't able to really do anything until basically, yeah, until today. And yeah, this is the build. It's not perfect, but I have never done a hospital build before, so it's pretty interesting. But yeah, like I said, it took me forever and a day to do, so this is just part one, and part two will come next week, and it'll be on time, I promise, because it's almost done. I mean, the build is done, but the video, like me actually editing the video, isn't, but I can easily finish that up next week. So at the moment, what I'm making is a helipad on the roof. I apologize if you can hear that. Alarms randomly go off in this building. I don't know if I'm supposed to leave, or if that's one I can hear. I don't know. Okay, it stopped, so never mind. The alarms in this building keep doing that, so, I mean, I didn't hear anyone else move, so I guess it's a false alarm, which is really not good in case it's proper. Although I think I just heard someone. Anyway, they do testing here, and they've done it, like, at weird times and quite regularly. I mean, it's better to have regular testing than no testing at all, but, when I have no idea if I'm supposed to leave or not, probably not a good thing. But since it's done this twice before, I'm not gonna leave because, first of all, I didn't hear it in the room I'm in, and if it goes off in the room I'm in, then I'm supposed to leave. I know that for sure, but it's gone off several times just in other rooms, or in like one other room, which tells me I don't need to leave. But yeah, hopefully you guys couldn't hear that, but if you can't hear it, then that's just me talking nonsense to myself, but that's fine. Completely lost what I was saying, but yeah, so I built this hospital, and because I was a day late, I didn't play test it, and I tried to this morning while I was taking screenshots, and it turns out that in the, I guess you'd call it the emergency room section, that you can't exactly get to the patients because there's just too much stuff around the beds, which is super annoying because basically not functional now, which means I am going to have to go back and completely re-edit it, refurbish it, move things around so that it is functional. But at the same time, that can just be a job for another day. That can be a later me problem. I think the beds upstairs should work, but patients go to the beds that are on the ground floor because, well, they're the closest to get to, so that makes sense. But I believe the beds upstairs should work because there's not that much stuff around them. And I mean, I haven't actually spent a lot of time in hospitals, which is a good thing, but it also means I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to this build. So I did look up some, like, what to do, like what things do hospitals have, and the different types of rooms and the layouts and setups and that sort of stuff, and got a little bit overwhelmed. So I just went, okay, I'm gonna do this and go with it. And the other thing I realized is that on the second, like on the 2 floors that aren't ground floor, because I know people use first floor as either the bottom floor or the first floor up. So just the 2 floors that aren't the ground floor, that you can't actually get to the surgery sides because I've put these fake lifts in, but the thing is, even if the lifts were real, you would have to get into the lift and then open have the doors on the other side open. I haven't actually got a direct walkway through to these rooms. So I think I'm gonna call this place the non-functional hospital because, well, you can't even get to the surgery rooms. And I mean, I could change it so that what do you call it? Like there's a little gap between where the 2 elevator spaces are, and I could just put a little walkway through there, but then you lose the buttons. But again, these aren't functional elevators, so it doesn't really matter all that much if I do that. But I guess I'm just gonna call this the non-functional hospital, because yeah, I didn't really think it through. But then again, I was insanely sick yesterday. I'm feeling a lot better today, but it's just not on the best, not feeling my best yesterday. So yeah, I'm gonna probably do a renovation of this hospital on my Twitch account, because I have streamed there before and I kind of want to stream a little bit more over there. It'll probably be my 3rd stream to renovate this place because I was starting to do a little Simsy shell challenge, and it didn't get finished, and I was really tired, so I turned it off and had a nap. But I'm going to finish that, and then after I finish that, I will probably do a 3rd stream fixing up this mess of a place. Because what's the point of having a hospital if it doesn't actually function? And it also, it's pretty bland as well. Like, I know hospitals tend to be a bit stark, I guess, because you don't want to have a whole bunch of stuff in the hospital. Like, you want to try and keep everything nice and sterile and clean. But if, at the same time, some of these rooms really could do with some fixing. Let's just put it that way. Because yeah, like I said, they're just so bland, and I try to fix it up because it's just so stark white. But all I do is really change the floor color, which, I mean, it doesn't really give it all, like, it becomes less boring, but at the same time, it's not that much of a change. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to renovate this place, but For my first time as a hospital build, I'm pretty, I wouldn't say pretty impressed, but I wouldn't hate it if I had to stay at this hospital for any reason, because it's got everything that you could possibly need. You know, it's got beds, it's got bathrooms, it's got a nice little outdoor area. There's like a playground for kids, but there's also just a nice little seating area out there and a little pond. It'll be nice just to walk around and get some fresh air while you're still on hospital grounds. And it does have like I made this room, I'm not entirely sure what you would call it, but it's a room where people can, I guess, hang out. So it's like, because I know some hospitals in some wards have rooms where, like, if you have guests over, you can go, or I say guests, but like visitors, you can have these visitors come over to this room so that you're not taking up a lot of space in just the ward and interfering with other people who might be sleeping or getting medical attention or like whatever. So I did create a little room like that to, I guess you would say, hang out in. Yeah. If you guys want to see this place being renovated, then make sure you go check out my Twitch, because it'll definitely be over there at some point. Probably, to be honest, I couldn't tell you when, but hopefully soon, because I'm not happy with how this turned out exactly, but I'm not mad at my first effort for building a hospital based off zero knowledge of how a hospital, well, I mean, based off general knowledge of how a hospital works. This little room here is kind of like the staff room, and because the hospital is so small, it is only a small staff room. There's an ant on my screen. Yeah, so it's just a small place for the workers, the nurses and doctors, and other relevant staff to have lunch, have a break, sit down, just take a breather for 5 minutes if that's what they need in this room. And there are a whole bunch of bathrooms around as well, and a lot of the hand sanitizer stations, because the few times I've been to a hospital, like visiting other people, there's been a lot of hand sanitizer stations around, which, I mean, makes sense. If you're at a hospital, you kind of want to be clean as much as you can and not be spreading germs to people who are already sick. So there's a lot of that around. But the decorations, I wasn't sure how I wanted to decorate, because a lot of the things that I wanted to put in, I either didn't know how to find or didn't know if they even existed. So there are just a lot of boxes and piles of paper hanging around, because, you know, people have documents and whatever, but I highly doubt it would be in this entrance foyer, the admission foyer. I don't hang out in hospitals a lot, so I have no idea what these places are called or referred to. So if you have more knowledge of a hospital than me, please let me know down below any information that you think is relevant to this build, or even just in general what would be relevant, because obviously I'm not doing the best job here, and that's fine. Life's all about building and growing. So yeah, this foyer, to me, it just feels so bland, but I didn't know what to put in there. And I was going to put these fences in, but then I was like, yeah, but now there's like no space. And 2 people could stand in that line. If you've got like a proper ER or whatever, like you're gonna have heaps of space for people to come in, check in, sit down, whatever. And I know I have the sitting down section off to the side, but the actual like place where you go and talk to the people and say, hey, this is what's wrong, there's not a lot of space in there. So I think it'd be a lot more beneficial to have a space that isn't so small. You have more people. I mean, it is a small hospital. It's only got 8 like long-term beds and I believe 8 short-term beds, and then maybe 7 like emergency, I guess you'd call them emergency beds, for people who've like just come off the ambulance and need attention straight away before they can be moved to like surgery or like the long-term patient beds or something like that. So it doesn't have that many beds. It's only got 3 surgery rooms and 2 well, technically 5 surgery rooms, but I've set 2 up to be like maternity wards. So yeah, it's a small hospital, so I don't think it needs to be too big of an entrance foyer, too big of an ER. Again, I don't know what it's called, but like where people check in and say, hey, this is what's happening to me. I don't think it needs to be too big, because I don't think if you're in a small hospital, you've probably got a small town that you're taking care of, so you probably don't need a huge amount of space or whatever. But at the same time, that doesn't mean I need to minimize and whatever on space. Just because there's less people doesn't mean they need less medical attention. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna chuck this on a stream and edit it, renovate it, make it make sense. I might change it so there's only 1 elevator, but I wanted 2 for like 1 for being like emergencies and moving up and down, and 1 for just general moving. So I might change the space a bit so there is more an easy way to access the places that you want, like the ward that you want to go to, rather than having to walk through an elevator, which makes 0 sense. And I didn't even think about it until I think it was when I was taking screenshots. That was when I was thinking about it, like well and truly after I finished the build. This is the long-term ward up here. Has 8 beds, 2 bathrooms, and a nurse station in the middle. I really wanted to have like a circular nurse station, but couldn't exactly do it. Anyway, forgot about timing. This is the end of the build, and if you want to see part 2, make sure you subscribe. Bye guys!